got a package for you. 90 minutes, premium rush.
Hey, that envelope you picked up, I gotta ask for it back. Who are you? Not your problem.
Yeah, the thing is, once it goes in the bag, it's gotta stay in the bag.
You got a name, family, people who care if they see you again?
Who are you, man?
No!
I'm just gonna put it out there. I hate cyclists.
I fucking hate them too.
Okay, so I'm not alone.
Well,
okay.
this is the biggest.
People who think they're fucking cars? Of course. What's not to hate?
That was the biggest problem with getting into Premium Rush was that these guys are really, in that context, giant fucking assholes. Well, of like just causing accidents and they don't give a fuck. I'm like, you're basically sociopaths on a bike.
Yeah, I don't like the cyclists we have here in Austin, and these are just people who are just riding their bikes instead of driving cars. But in New York, where they're professional cyclist messengers, they are premium assholes.
Yeah, Premium Rush assholes.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They ride. You're thinking it's bad riding through traffic, but they jump on your car. They ride through grocery stores.
I know. You're pretty much a fucking bike park. You know, in the middle of your car is a part of that. Well, I didn't sign up for this shit.
And
I
then
don't
when
need nobody doing papa wheelies on the top of my car.
And when they're riding illegally in traffic and you almost hit them, they get mad and pull out a chain and damage your car.
I know they pull out that. I didn't know like those Ghost Rider chains were like standard issue for fucking cyclists now, fucking bike messengers.
Yeah, all these motherfuckers think they're the Ghost Rider, but you own a bicycle.
I know.
God damn it.
You gotta have
worst
something.
fan out there.
You're not in a car, so
I
but
guess that's true.
Unfortunately, this movie at least is so obviously a pop fantasy that quickly I was able to go, all right, calm down. It's just take it in the context in which it wants to be watched, and don't worry too much about the fact that if this was real life, you would want to shoot all these people.
You know what? I
You're
appreciate
rooting for the bad guys.
that they let you, they cop to the fact right off the bat that they're assholes instead of like trying to sell me a bill of goods that like, no, you might think they're assholes, but they're really sweet. It's like, no, not at all.
You know, it takes me back to the days of like the 80s. Like this movie to me felt like a throwback, and it reminded me of actually one of my favorite movies, BMX Bandits, where it was like a bunch of kids who were hated by the public, hated by the police, yet they managed to get themselves involved in some kind of weird criminal activity to where they have to basically, you know, save the day. To where the police are looking at them as heroes at the end of the movie.
Actually, this is very much a throwback to those kind of late 80s movies.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I was like, you know what? It's after The Expendables 2, and I was like, man, I am sick of nostalgia. This made me go like, wow, I actually do kind of miss those. I mean, at least it was fun to go back and explore it one more time.
But it's not like a gimmicky nod to nostalgia.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not referencing the 80s or something. It's
Not
like,
at
look,
all.
it's one of those movies.
Yeah, you know, it's not like they picked like all the guys with no skateboard and BMX movies, and then like
Christian Slater
and then
with
they,
Leaving the Cube.
Yeah, Leaving the Cube, and they like got all of them as old guys to like be bicycle messages in this movie.
Yeah, Goose from BMX doesn't show up in this movie. Going,
That
hey
being
guys, you
said,
need some help?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was not riding the bike in a lot of these scenes. I don't know who it was, but it had to be some kind of superstar badass.
He rode a
He did a lot of
he did a
riding.
lot of
straight riding, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but
there's
not
a
the tricks.
lot of stunt and trick stuff in there that
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like one of those old movies because they're doing crazy shit on.
Oh yeah, they got a stunt bike in
Yeah,
there.
that's
Yeah,
what
of course.
I'm saying. It's
Well,
like
if you wait for the credits, and I'm talking about a good like 5 minutes, like their version of a stinger, you actually see Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He actually got into a bike accident where I think his bike flipped over a car, and he's showing his arm. He's all bloodied up, and you know,
Oh, yeah, he got 30 stitches or something for
yeah,
that.
he hit a cab.
Yeah,
or a cab hit him.
I think they actually kept that footage too.
Did Jackie Chan walk up and go like, oh, did you hurt your widow?
Flat out pussy.
Be a man.
laughed at me.
You know, and Cyrus, I gotta agree with you, man. I'm using this to just validate my hatred for bikers. They're not like they're not as bad as they are in this movie. I mean, if they were this bad, they'd be splattered all over the streets, all
They'd be
over
dead.
town.
They'd be in New York, they'd be dead.
There'd be limbs and blood everywhere on every block. You
To
know,
be fair, they are still irritating. I mean, even here in Austin, I know some of these guys who are just like, I refuse to get a car. I won't because everyone should ride bikes. So therefore, I should be allowed to do whatever I want.
Okay,
And
yeah,
anything
well-
that happens is the car's fault, not mine. I know these guys who are like, yeah, if they hit me, fuck them.
then
That's their
I
fault.
should be allowed to open my door trying to knock your ass out the way when I don't want
It's
to.
like your friends have that attitude because all the time, about once every 2 weeks, there's a story in the news about a cyclist who got run over, and they have no idea who did it. And even if they catch somebody who did it, and the cyclist was killed, they go like, "Well, he didn't see him, so you know."
That was me.
I look at those people as like somebody is crazy who would say, you know what, the ocean belongs to me, so I should be able to swim it whenever I fucking want. So you know. And then you read a news story the next day. Stupid ass gets fucking eaten by a shark.
Seriously, my taxes paid for this NASCAR track, and if I want to go jogging anytime, I should be allowed
Oh
to.
yeah, no, I've actually read those reports. They interviewed the shark. Well, I didn't see him. He just swam into my mouth. I don't know what to say. But you know what? Even though I have an annoyance of these cyclists, I guess I shouldn't say bikers. Those are the guys on actual motorcycles. These are cyclists here. Looking at this movie, I couldn't help but feel the rush, or I feel like, man,
The premium rush?
Hey, Coles, that was some premium rush right there. But you know, I couldn't help but feel like, man, even though this is a fantasy, I kind of want to be this guy on the bike. I want to be that asshole a little bit that on the other end that's annoying people, but because it's such a thrill when the movie actually gets it right. I don't think it does it as much as it promises. It either in the trailer or in the poster, but when they show it very visually creatively, by the way, when they show how these cyclists just go through traffic and whatnot from the point of view of the camera, it is a thrill ride.
Is that when they're doing that Sherlock Holmes shit where they're looking at their route? They have like 3 different versions of their route and how it can possibly go.
The possible outcomes. Well, the thing is, for years, I didn't have a car and I drove a moped. And I would have to do that. Whenever I was on the road, I was constantly mapping out the different routes I could take and the possible outcomes.
Oh, that's why you kept hitting shit.
You kept running into the stop sign.
He kept trying to do that thing where he's like, let me figure this out. If I go that way, I can...
Well, it was my fault for buying a moped from Acme.
So now you drive a dump truck.
I used to do that on my big wheel when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It still ran into shit.
How do you wreck a tricycle?
Well, you know, you're right. One of the most appealing things about this is that sense of adrenaline that it has, that it captures really fucking well. It's like that weird sort of like Run Lola Run thing almost.
Yeah.
Where it switches between CG and action, and the story has only very few points in which it slows down completely, where nobody is on a bike.
You still haven't answered my original question. Aren't you afraid of dying? I mean, the way you ride.
Now, you want to know what scares me is what happened to my friends who just got out of law school. That is collective insanity. Compared to that, going down Broadway at 50 with no brakes is fine.
Sounds good.
The bike wants to go fast. It's steadier that way. I've never been hurt going all out. It's just the hesitation that'll kill you.
So you're one of those guys. No brakes.
No, I hate brakes. Brakes of death.
But, I mean, it's neat the way this character, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is he's trying to deliver this package from a friend, or basically the roommate of his girlfriend, across town before a certain time. Don't even know what's in it. But there's a crazy cop chasing him. There's another random bike messenger guy who wants to fight him. There's another cop on a bike
cop.
who's chasing him. And it's this whole back and forth. He's trying to figure out what the best place is to get to this place and what the hell's really going on. It's actually very exciting.
No, it's
past the point that I would care about these people in real life. Is just in that context of the film. And I think it might have a lot to do with the director, David Koepp, who has made a fuck ton of movies.
Oh, he's
writer.
mostly a writer.
Yeah, but he's written some classic movies. But even as a director, he made like Stir of Echoes was a movie I thought was really good.
Trigger Effect and
Ghost
that
Town.
one too.
I
Ghost
thought.
Town, yeah.
I mean, he's actually done some good stuff. He's got so much experience in the industry. Here's a guy who clearly, from the variety of films he's made, you're like, here's a guy who watches what other people are doing too. He's a commercial director, a really good one. And here I think this may be one of the best things he's done yet.
Yeah, it's funny because
as a director,
I was looking at this and wondering why a guy who has so much, especially in his screenplays, who's done all these big movies for Hollywood, why he would do this kind of film, because it still feels like a small scale film. I don't even know if this movie's going to have a wide audience when it comes out, because it's kind of come under the radar. It has one major star in there, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, you could say Michael Shannon's a big star nowadays because of he's become. What's that? Oh, I thought you pointed at something. I thought you were like, hey, your mic.
No,
put it further in your mouth. I thought
you're like a cat. I hold my finger out, and you suddenly you focus completely on that.
I thought you were doing something. I know. I was like, so I put down the mic and I just started looking. It's a good thing you have a laser pointer.
Did you see that red dot?
I just dropped the mic.
I know. I'm gonna bring my laser pointer next week.
I thought you were actually doing something sexual. Like,
No.
put it deeper in your mouth. Keep going. No,
Pull my finger.
Joseph Gordon. No, he's over there touching himself. No, Michael Shannon, who I love in this movie, he's probably the only other big actor. And he's recently gotten big because of Boardwalk Empire. And that what was that movie that he
Take
won?
Shelter?
Take Shelter. Yeah, the movie that he got the. Did he win an Academy Award for that? Or did
I
he get
don't think
nominated?
he did. No.
Oh, okay.
Shoulda,
But see, that's the thing about this movie. It seemed like a smaller movie that I wouldn't expect a director like this to do. But maybe it's because it affords him to do a lot of the creative things that he does in here. Because it feels, you're right, it feels very much like an 80s movie, right down to the humor in it. Because when you're not watching the bikes in the stunts and all the points of view of going through traffic in this movie, a lot of it is just having to deal with them telling you this story. Like you'll find out one detail about something. You might find out something about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Then the movie will go back into what reverse itself to show you how he got in that package. Michael Shannon, you think they don't even show him in the trailer that much, I don't think, but he plays a big role in this movie where you're wondering, why is he chasing this guy? The movie scales back again to show you why he needs that package so bad and why he's chasing down Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I thought that was funny, and most of that is taken up just by a lot of funny dialogue. That whole thing of Joseph Gordon-Levitt pretty much just being like that annoying kid to the crotchety old guy, like, hey, give me that package. You can't catch me, old man.
Why
you come here, you cyclist.
And as good as Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this role, he's very enthusiastic. He seems believable. It's Michael Shannon that's the big draw for me here because he is
a star.
riot.
He's
As
hilarious.
totally corrupt as you could get. Cop. I mean, he's
like Gary Oldman in The Professional, except just incompetent.
Yeah, Gary Oldman would be like, tone it down.
I look at him as like like a corrupt Al Bundy in a way. Where he creates his own problems, and right when you're introduced to the guy, he's a gambler. He's the worst possible gambler ever. He's trying to make bets with Ashley Larry. Playing, the guy is hilarious. I mean, this is the first movie to where that guy. It made me aware of like, man, this guy has so much reign. His talent is huge. And trying to think, like, after this movie, I was trying to think about this movie without him in it. Thinking, wow, would I have gotten as much as I did if he were in it or not? And I have to say, I don't think I would have, because every time he's on the screen, he's chewing up the scenery. His reactions with his interactions with Joseph Gordon-Levitt are just hilarious. I mean, and it gets you so involved with the movie to where I found myself rooting for him more than the bike messenger.
You know what?
Sometimes.
Did you want that? Because the guy, I mean, he's obviously evil. Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants, including killing people if he has to.
Which is more money just to throw away on stupid bets.
But that's the thing. You like, even if he wins, he's still just going to turn around and fuck it up.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about him.
Hilarious.
Some people, I can already see some people criticizing him in this movie, and I'm not going to argue with you because I think you'll be justified in doing so. But I think that he's such a cartoon character in this movie, to the point where while some people might say that's bad, it amused me.
No, see, that's the thing. When he first showed up, his first scene, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was liking this movie okay, but he's a little cartoonish. But quickly from the second scene, I'm like, wait, that's the point.
Yeah, the whole movie is
amazing
a cartoon.
at it.
The whole movie is a cartoon, which is why I wouldn't agree with criticism of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that
I think he
either.
nails the type of villain this movie absolutely needed to give it the right kind of life. I mean, even the cop who's the bike cop, that guy's cracking me the fuck up.
Oh yeah, that's a great running gag in the movie. There's a bicycle cop that sees Joseph Gordon-Levitt cause an accident, and he spends the whole movie obsessed with chasing Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That guy almost kills himself about 5 times, but he has to have Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He's Wile E. Coyote.
And those are the character moments that I miss in a lot of movies today, especially when they want to get a movie about bike messengers, to where with those 80s movies, they paid attention to detail. They paid attention to the camaraderie with the other bicyclists, especially in this movie. You see that a lot. They pay attention to the villain to where they make him interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And with this, even adding that bike cop in there, they threw another character that could have easily been a throwaway character in any other movie, but they made him interesting as well. It's probably an actor that after this movie, you'll probably never hear from him again. But I mean, they made this movie so fun that, I mean, I was enjoying it the whole way through. I mean, it was really hard. It was really hard for me to even find any lag with it, because it seemed like when they weren't focusing on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they were hanging out with Michael Shannon, and every time the movie wasn't really having Michael Shannon part of the main story for a while, I was like, this is still fun, but goddamn, I want to get back to Michael Shannon.
Well,
quick.
I always knew he was coming back, so I didn't mind having those breaks, because they did the thing. Well, I mean, David Koepp, he's obviously like a fan of those '80s movies, and has a real love for him, so he knew how to bring that back. But also having this, this whole mystery, this thriller that lies underneath. It's like, wow, this could have just easily been a movie about stunt driving. But the story keeps it interesting the whole time.
Yeah.
And it never slowed
the
down
movie's
for me.
smart enough. I don't think it's I don't really think it's necessarily a smart movie, but I think it's smart enough to recognize that, you know what, this isn't very deep. Let's not try. This is a movie where a guy is pretty much running for his life. And a criticism of mine is that I never felt danger. I never felt danger for him for anybody being in an accident. I never felt danger from Michael Shannon. As intimidating as he tried to be, never felt it, but it was okay because the danger was filled in with laughter for me. I was looking at things. I mean, Michael Shannon, that guy, I just love the way he just lost. I mean, he's such a loser that he loses funny. Like when he's trying to bet, he's like losing. Like, that's hand is shit. That's hand is shit. This thing is holes. All this is shit. Just shit. Give me some more money. I need it now to gamble again. I can lose some more shit. I was like, man, this guy is awesome. You know what? I would even tell him, man. You know what? Just go ahead and shoot me because you entertained me enough.
I know. I was like, what Betty? What establishment wouldn't want this guy hanging out all the time just for the pure comedy that he brings?
Well,
like, look, that's the dumb cop right there.
Hey, let me ask you something now. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is doing the right thing by this package. He's taking it to who it really should belong to and the good person that it should go to. But for some reason, didn't you want Michael Shannon to have it instead? Even though he was,
no,
even though he's the bad guy, he was trying.
Why are you asking Coles? With the two of us still sitting here.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. He was the one that brought it up.
I brought it up. I mean,
but didn't you, Leon? I'm asking you. Michael Shannon was trying. He plays a cop named Officer Monday, which is even kind of a.
Which he keeps using the pseudonym Forrest J. Ackerman.
Yeah.
Really? You like famous monsters of film?
But it's almost like you're right. You were right, Cyrus. It's almost like watching the Roadrunner and the Coyote. The Roadrunner has every right to do what he does to Coyote. He's fighting for his life, but you just want the Coyote to get him anyway. And it was like I just wanted Michael Shannon to catch Joseph Gordon-Levitt and choke the fuck out of him and take that package because he was working so hard for it. and I wanted him to be on top at the end of the movie.
But you couldn't help but think, even if he did, he'd fuck it up. His name should have been Mr. Fuck Up.
That's the main thing why I didn't root for him, because I'm like, what's the point?
Guy's such a loser.
The point is the crazy hijinks he gets himself into.
But there's also the other villain is Wole Parks, who plays Manny, who's the bike messenger who clearly resents everything that Wiley, the name of our main character.
That is true.
His name was Wiley. I think that was a nod to the cartoons.
Yeah.
But everything that he does, he resents the fact that he's got this totally hot girl that he would rather sleep with. Resents that he's the number one bike messenger in New York, yada, 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 you name it. And so when it comes to the point where it's an open, like the whole movie, he's goading him, like going, come on, man, I'm going to race you. I'm going to kick your ass because you suck. Your bike sucks, everything. And you're like, who is this
fucking
guy?
that girl that I can't fuck.
And then when it finally comes down to the fact, like, all right, that's going to happen, man, Joseph Gordon-Levitt mops up the floor with this guy. And you're like, yeah. And that was the sense of danger. I was just worried this guy might beat him in the race.
That guy. Yeah, you know what? I like that actor, but I that's the first time I've seen him, by the way, unless I've seen him in something else and don't remember. I didn't like that character.
Well, because he's cocky.
He's cocky, but I didn't like him because I just felt like, this seems like this doesn't seem like a real character in the movie. It just seems like something they put in there to just be another obstacle in Joseph Gordon-Levitt's way. I mean, that was one character. While all these other characters I was talking about are fun, that was the only one that seemed really shallow to me.
Well,
I disagree. I liked him quite fun.
Because considering his character and who he is, I was like, I actually know. I know that guy.
And I especially liked him.
I'm sitting right here, man.
You didn't want to say.
I didn't want to say.
I do do a show with him every week.
It's like I was liking the character like, as a foil for so long, but when they like backed up to show when he first came on the scene was like checking out the two of them and getting all pissed off and jealous. I was like, I really like this character now. And Corey's, this character's all right.
You can't help but love that character because once again, it is that attention to detail with characters like that. Because there's always a character like that in those fucking 80s movies. I mean, but man, dude, this is just such a fun movie. I don't know if did you guys have any like actual problems with it?
I'll tell you the one problem I had right there. The other problem is I don't like when they build relationships between characters. It's a very lazy thing for me, unless it's in some very well written romantic comedy where you just have the characters bicker. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his girlfriend in the movie, her name's Vanessa. I'm looking at the actress's name right now.
Dania
Ramirez. Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
I just felt like that they were. What you say? Of course,
she's gorgeous.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, I thought you being racist like Ramirez. Of course, her last name's Ramirez. Fucking Hispanic girl. No, it's like I don't like when they build character just by having the two leads bicker when it's just leading up to like one scene where they just kiss and that's it. I mean, it's not leading up to any kind of bigger relationship. I always thought that was kind of lazy. Just bicker
damn,
back and forth.
Corey, you want this movie to have every goddamn thing in it.
Weirdest thing.
I am sorry, but that's how I feel.
Because if it ain't a romantic comedy, I don't want to see it. Corey Coleman.
Wow.
I would have. Yeah, they should have had a test screening with just you. Like, no, don't like it.
Hey, wait a minute! Y'all turn on me like you already know I hate the movie or something. Come on,
they didn't show the romance from the beginning. I don't buy it.
Hey, come on! Look at all the good things I said about the
This
movie.
reminds me of the Catwoman and Batman romance. That goddamn movie.
Hey, come on!
Fuck that movie too.
Let's be honest here with what he just said. She never took her shirt off.
I mean, I was pissed off. I was pissed off that she didn't take her shirt off because there was a scene where, man, I don't know if she was fucking filming her scene in the Arctic or something, but those nipples were like trying to like escape from a goddamn
through
shirt.
a sports bra and like a jacket on top of that. Like, Jesus Christ, what are those things made of?
I know,
To have a
damn.
meltdown, sitting there going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's some serious windburn right there. Went right through that shirt.
I wanted to play Tune in Tokyo.
I don't know. Did you guys have something you didn't like?
You know what? There was only one. I was enjoying the hell out of the movie, and they came to one part that I thought I was going to like, and it was something that was in the last Step Up movie. The whole like, hey, let's call everybody, because I was like, oh, not this again. Come on. But then what they ended up doing with it was just so low key. I was like, well, shit, okay, that works. I got no problem.
And
with
I
that.
agree with you that's kind of a cheap gimmick at this point. And if not anything else, it probably was a nod to the films this was inspired by, which is fine. It's just that, like Corey pointed out earlier, this really isn't a nostalgia film. It's just inspired by those movies. So I think, that kind of took me out of it at least a little bit. But it's such a minor complaint, really. I mean, because the ending has a really nice little surprise there. One of Michael Shannon's best moments is his last scene in the film.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just one of these things where if they had gone all out the way Step Up did, then I would have been like, oh man, it's got to lose a point for that. But it didn't. It was just such a small thing. I was like, oh okay. Well,
they got past it quick.
Yeah. I was right there in the same boat. As much as I love when I used to be stupid, and I used to love those endings. I was like, oh, that's right, the camaraderie, it's the charge. You know, the way they handled it was smart. I really thought that.
Well, come on, Coas. How else are you supposed to save the rec center?
Exactly.
Gotta save the rec center.
So,
where else are you gonna wreck?
So, Mr. Hater Corey, what do you
See,
give this movie?
that's what I'm talking about, man. Why you do that? You take one or two little minor complaints and you exaggerate to make it seem like I'm gonna give this movie some bullshit.
I think we need to call our reviewer friends. we need to sound the charge.
A review flash mob.
Well, this is Spill, so it's Macromedia Flash Mob.
Hey, man. Shut up.
Macromedia doesn't even make flash.
I'm sorry, Adobe.
Quiet, you.
Stop it. Just stop
I wish
it.
Michael Shannon here would have go, shut up. Shut up. That's not how it works. That's not how you're supposed to do it.
I say, you've heard everything I have to say about the movie. Love the action. Love Michael Shannon in this. I want two things Michael Shannon to do at some point before his career is over. That was Revolutionary Road, by the way. I was thinking of two.
Oh yeah.
where he was so good in that.
Yeah.
I want them to make a Frankenstein movie with Michael Shannon. That face was made to be a monster of some kind.
He's the new Jack Elam because his eyes couldn't be further apart.
Jesus, boy, that E.T. would look at him and say, "Damn, man."
I mean, it's bad enough they like bigger than normal and kind of Google eyes, and they're on two different sides of his head.
That fool could play a live action version of Cookie Monster.
If they remake Cannonball Run, I'm just saying. You put that dude as the doctor in the ambulance. And
I would love to see him remake M. And remember when MTV used to take that picture where he's right? It looks like he's running and he's turning his head around his shoulder, going with his eyes bulging out. I would love to see Michael Shannon.
I want to see that fool on a twig, looking like a chameleon.
He's a real life person who actually has actual googly eyes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, man. That motherfucker should be eating cookies and losing his mind right now. And his eyeballs going all around.
Igor.
Yeah. No, R want to see him play Mo if there's another Three Stooges movie.
That would be perfect. Yeah. He was pretty much Mo.
He was.
Hey, come here, you. Give me that package.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
Get
come
over
here.
here.
You're not under arrest, but there's something here that I want. You know?
Yeah,
Well, they make another Three Stooges movie. He could be the Ted Healy part.
There you go.
Or that. Yeah, no, he has to play Mo. No, he got to be Mo.
Mo, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Michael Shannon. I told you my complaints. Didn't like so much the love interest part, and thought the Manny character was kind of weak. But it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna give this a low rental. So no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm giving it a matinee.
What just happened?
You just looked at me, Leon, like psh, you're dead to me, man. Writing you off as a friend.
Yeah, we've talked plenty about how much fun it is. It's one of these. It's one of the few movies I've seen lately that's actually stuck with me. I'm like, even talking about it again, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I just might just go see this again. I love what a throwback it is and how many things it gets right and the attention to detail, as co-host brought up, and just how many little things it had in there to keep you entertained. It went above and beyond what it had to do for this type of movie. And anybody goes like, well, it's not all that. It's like, hey, man, maybe it wasn't trying to be. Maybe, to me, it succeeded at everything that it was trying to do and had one of those memorable death scenes where people say, like, hey, what's a memorable death scene? I'm like, this movie had one.
Why are you giving away Joseph Gordon-Levitt dies, man?
Well, man, he is like running ready. It's only a matter of time. Even the coyote is going to expire at one point.
Hey, well, let me just say, people, he didn't spoil it because we're joking around. You didn't love the joke. I can just see the comment section right now.
Damn it,
Leon.
Fucked up again. You're just like that Michael Shannon character.
But and it's one of those things where if this wasn't August, I don't know, I might be like, I'm gonna play it safe and give it a matinee. But man, I've seen nothing but movies this month that have been rentals and some old bullshit. And right now, I was just so happy to be entertained at that level. I'm giving it a low full price.
Yeah, it's funny. This is a film that isn't trying to be a big summer blockbuster of a movie. It actually sets its own expectations at a very reasonable level. It does something that is a throwback in some ways to old classic films, yet at the same time is in fact giving us something kind of new with its style, the way that it's shot. It's mixing in things from some other movies, but in a very good and positive way, a fun way. Ultimately, that's all this movie wants you to get from it. It's like, hey man, did you have fun? Did you have a good time? Oh, man, that's great. That's what I felt like this movie was saying to me as I walked out. So this is no Oscar winner. This is a movie you go where you just walk out with a big smile on your face. Say, man, I was not bored for even a second of this thing. At worst, I will say there's points that I thought that maybe it was going to reach a little bit more. Certainly some of the stuff it was doing with him, like, sort of like, what am I going to go? Which path am I going to take? And the overviews of the city as we watch the arrows as he's plotting his path move through it at a, eagle soaring type of rate. I was like, that's so cool. I'm really into this. What are they going to do with this? And the answer is, in the first 5 minutes, you've seen the extent of what they do with it largely. But so what? It's still a lot of fun. It's a low full price. Yeah, go see it.
Oh man, well since the word of the day is throwback, I only wish that the guys who are making Expendables 2 could look at something like this to know how to do it. To where you're not, to where you make it clever, fun, and seem completely original, and not think about it being as a throwback movie until you leave the theater. I mean, because it's engaging. Michael Shannon is fucking brilliant in this. He should win an Oscar for this. I'll go that far. This is an Oscar-worthy performance right here. Give that motherfucker something, please, before he really goes crazy and he ends up like jumping off a bridge or something. But I mean, man, I haven't had. This is one of those movies that I had so much fun in. That you're right, Leon. I mean, you guys, both you guys, Cyrus and Leon, you both said exactly what I wanted to say about this review. And the best thing about it is that I want to go see it again. I really, really do. But man. Oh, it is also one of those movies where it makes you want to go fucking ride a bike into traffic. It really does. It's like if Joseph Gordon-Levitt can do it, I can fucking do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
No, don't do it.
You about to pull a Leon after he goes to see the Fast and the Furious. He goes on the parking lot, ends up hitting the light pole.
I caught myself driving a little fast after I came out of this movie. I was like, wait, you can't actually drive between cars. You're in a car.
Well, when you got training wheels like I do, it don't look as cool. But man, I mean, it's definitely a full price. I think people who are going to go check it out just by accident are going to be shocked by it.
Yeah, it's cool. General, we've got to mention Michael Shannon's about to play General Zod.
He is. Man, I'm really looking forward to Superman, I have to say.
Okay, I'm leaning toward being stoked now.
Yeah, it is.
It's about time, Leon.
I'm waiting for him to play the homeless guy that I gave money to the other day after looking at him.
That was not a role. That was Michael Shannon.
Oh, that was him. Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost hoping that, this Pee Wee Herman just made a resurgence, right? I really hope they make another Pee Wee's Big Adventure, something involving his bike where Michael Shannon is fucking chasing his ass all over the place.
Come here, Pee Wee.
Get over here, you.
Man, on.
You silly man with your silly bow tie.
Well, what was that?
Sometimes we gotta hit back.